Good Lord, Shawn, what is that smell?
Yeah, it's one of those days.
Welcome to episode 44 of What's the Buzz, the podcast that keeps you informed and entertained on all things pest control. I'm Jordan.
I'm Shawn.
And together we're here to buzz through the world of pests, big and small. From the latest in pest management techniques to the fascinating facts about the critters we all love to hate, we've got the insights you need. It's another week, and we are here once again to share our expert advice, real-life stories, and practical tips to help you keep your home pest free. So sit back, relax, and get ready to discover what's really buzzing in Shawn's world.
Bam.
What's going on, Shawn?
What's going on, dude?
Not a lot. It has been
It's
busy.
been super busy.
It's our busiest time of the year.
It's close to our busiest time of the year.
Close to?
Yeah, we're getting there. It's busy though.
It's very.
It is busy.
What's new in your world?
Well, a lot. There's a lot there. We'll get into it later though.
Okay.
I mean, we're really our main focus right now, what we're going to talk about today, is ticks.
Ticks.
Ticks. It is tick explosion season.
May seems to be the month where they are always out in full force.
Full force.
So,
I did ask a tick politely to leave the other day though, but he was attached.
all right. You know what I always say?
What's
And
that?
you've heard me say this before.
Yeah.
But
100
ticks are
times.
basically nature's way of reminding you just stay inside.
You'd rather just stay inside?
No, not really.
Yeah, but there's lots to talk about with ticks though.
There sure are. It's a hot topic these days just because of all the diseases that they transmit. Alpha-gal, Rocky Mountain spotted tick fever, something like that.
You're close. Yeah.
Yeah. Lyme's disease.
Lyme. No, there's no limes.
Lyme disease.
It's Lyme disease.
It's like it's not Canadian geese, it's Canada geese, no matter what.
Canadian goose.
Oh, it's Canada
Or like
goose.
kind of, are you trying to refer to like Google as Google?
No. No one's referring to Google as Google.
I need you to Google something.
I'm not going to Google.
Please Google Canada goose.
You said it right that time, Canada goose. So
that's intriguing. Anyway,
why
do tick populations spike in May?
In May? Well,
I'm going to take a wild gander here and a very educated response. Say it has something to do with the perfect weather conditions.
You hit the nail on the head.
Wet and warm.
It's very wet and warm. Nice and humid.
Mm-hmm.
Your grass gets nice and lush this time of year as well. I'm mowing weekly at this point.
Yeah. A lot of people wait for that first mow, like me, because there's no way I should be mowing in April.
You still haven't mowed?
No, I've mowed. I'm saying there's a lot of people that wait.
Yeah.
A lot of people that wait. Or if they have a company that does it and there's a week of rain, they're behind.
Yeah, the temperature's staying above 45 degrees most days now, even at night. So that's when they really start getting active.
Mm-hmm.
After all the April showers that we have, the May flowers are blooming, and it's causing that vegetation to grow. Perfect place for them to start questing.
Yes. We get all three of what you just talked about here in May. The warm temps, the humidity, the tall vegetation. When that happens in the grass and in the woods, it stays moist. So helps ticks survive, right?
It does.
Helps ticks survive.
What else? What's another contributing factor there?
Well, life cycles.
Okay.
A lot of people assume that not just ticks, but insects in general just die off in the wintertime.
Right.
They just die. Not the case. They become dormant and active again once temperatures consistently stay above 45, 50.
Which is where we're at right now.
Yeah, it's pretty consistent.
Yeah.
And so, they come out of their dormancy. The nymphs, the babies, are aggressively feeding, looking for feeding. Adult ticks are highly active. New generations are emerging. And it all has to do with temperature.
And moisture.
And
Wet and warm.
it's wet and warm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Also, this time of year, we start seeing an increase in just general wildlife activity rolling through the backyard.
Skunks. I smell a few skunks here last few weeks.
Isn't it like skunk breeding season right now?
You know, a couple of weeks ago, I was driving from Stockton, Missouri to Joplin, these back highways. You know what I seen the most of? Turtles trying to cross the road.
Turtles.
I counted 9 turtles in that one drive, and I'm like, what in the world is going on?
Turtles.
And then I get home later, I get on Facebook, and somebody posted about moving a turtle out of the road. I'm like, hey, you could have moved 9 if you were with me today. But
So do ticks latch onto turtles?
not typically.
Yeah.
Not typically.
Mostly mammals.
Yeah.
So, but deer coming through as
Mhm.
well. Not just those stinky skunks, but deer.
About the gobblers.
Sure.
Turkeys.
Potentially, yeah. Raccoons. Fat raccoons.
So that's how you get ticks spread throughout the yard.
Absolutely.
A lot of people will get ticks in the yard, even though they might not have that tall vegetation, because they have wildlife going through the yard.
Yep. Areas you might pick those up as well. Like at my house, I have a couple little trails that go through the woods. So
you have trails at your house?
just a few. I don't have a lot of property, but I've got a few little trails.
Where does it lead to?
Just other trails back on my. It's just like little loops, and they're not very big, but it's fun to be out there. Lake properties, you may know something about that.
Know a thing or two about lake properties.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about like hunting compounds?
Hunting?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. If there's
the deer farm, you know?
I don't know anything about any deer farm.
You don't have a hunting camp?
No.
You
No.
just- Where do you hunt?
I don't know. Nowhere.
You don't hunt?
No, I don't. Wooded neighborhoods?
That's you have a wooded neighborhood?
Yes.
Yeah, anywhere in the rural area that has a good not necessarily brush line. So around here we don't have a lot of brush lines really. More wooded lines, around properties. They maintain a good, people that live out in the rural area maintain a good distance to the yard, but hit that wood line.
Right.
And so those are kind of the hot spots.
So beyond just the basic biology about
shaded areas of the yard too. Similar to mosquitoes, ticks don't like heat, direct sunlight. They like those shaded areas of the yard where you might go sit and get the shade yourself.
Yeah.
Under a tree.
And a hammock. Take a cat.
Yeah, they don't really fly though. They're not there.
Interesting.
Maybe a ground cot. If you have a ground cot. Sleeping bag. You got a sleeping bag under the tree?
Maybe I should try that.
You should. It is tick explosion season.
Yeah. But doesn't mean they're not out in April as well. It's just people, when it starts to get warm, they're spending more time outside and finding more ticks on them. I know this time of year is when I start a lot of fishing. And
you don't hike?
I don't hike. I'm not a hiker. If I can hike to a fishing spot, I would do that.
But are you good at fishing?
Pretty good, yeah.
Okay, but
what
place did you get in the last fishing tournament?
I'm not really sure. Not first, I'll tell you that.
Or second. First?
Or third, because we didn't get paid. But when I was younger, I had a lot more time to go fish and keep up with trends and what was happening and patterns and what fish were doing. And now it's just like I'm blind going out there. So I just have to kind of guesstimate what's happening and chuck something out there. So
there's a little bit more science to it behind there. But anyway, yeah, more people are outside this time of year. I see that on the business side of networking and social events, attendance always drops this time of year through really till about school starts back up again in the summer, and everybody's trying to get outside as much as possible and enjoy the weather and all that fun jazz.
Kids sports, camping,
glamping.
Yeah, glamping.
You glamp.
I've never glamped, but I'm thinking maybe that sleeping bag under a tree might be considered glamping. So,
well, talking about ticks, certain ticks, they can transmit certain diseases that other tick species can't. So let's talk about the common species of ticks.
Right.
In Missouri, and let's start with the Lone Star tick.
Probably the most common that we Well, one of the most common. Well,
The most aggressive, probably.
yes.
Encountered tick in the Ozarks.
Yeah.
Females have that really distinct white dot on their back.
Mm-hmm.
Very aggressive towards humans. They want your blood.
They want to suck your blood.
Common in wooded areas, trails, yards near timber, and they are linked to the alpha gal syndrome. So,
Right.
people listening that maybe aren't sure what alpha gal is, it's a red meat allergy.
And there's varying degrees of severity.
Mhm.
Some people can't eat it at all ever again.
Mhm.
Some people have it for a short period, and then over time they're able to eat red meat again.
Yeah.
But it's not a very, very pretty thing. So,
What other species want to talk about today?
well, the American dog tick,
Ooh.
larger tick,
Mhm.
Lyme disease, not Lyme's disease, but Lyme disease. That would be the tick that transmits Lyme disease.
One of them.
Also can carry the Rocky Mountain
Mhm.
spotted fever. And
Usually
we're gonna
found on
see
dogs
those.
and humans.
Right.
They really like grassy fields.
Grassy fields, which would
Uh,
make sense because they quest.
Along roadsides, like in the ditches and stuff like that. You'll see
Mhm.
them a lot.
It-
Why would I throw my pen out the window?
And then
If you're
looking
like
for
Paul,
it.
you'd throw your golf clubs out the window.
That is true. Maybe something like this.
Yeah, absolutely. So they're bigger tick. Usually they're kind of the ones you see on dogs that are after they have their blood feeding that swell up really big and you can pluck them off.
Yeah.
Uh, and in dogs, too, while we're on this subject, they can cause tick paralysis. One of our dogs we had for a long time, uh, Shadow was the dog's name. We took her to the vet. We thought we got a call. We're at our lake property and thought our neighbor thought she got hit by a car. She's in the yard and I pick her up. She doesn't yelp. She can't move. And I just take her down the street to the closest vet. And they started pulling some ticks off. She got out of the yard, roaming through the creek and the woods. They called us actually a day or two later. And hey, we might want to come up and say goodbye. We're gonna have to put her down. And so Stacy and I went up there, kind of depressed, and we're out in the back with her. She's able to move, and we keep pulling ticks off. It's like they just put her in there and didn't check anymore.
Yeah.
And we ended up pulling like 30 more ticks off of her, and then she was fine.
Interesting.
It is interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
That is crazy.
And no effect. Long life after that.
No,
Hmm.
that I know of. So we got the Lone Star tick, the American dog tick, black-legged tick, also responsible for Lyme disease. Smaller and darker than dog ticks.
Yeah. More common in your wooded and shaded areas.
Nymphs are very tiny,
Teeny tiny.
teeny tiny.
We hear about seed ticks.
Uh-huh.
A lot of the nymphs, when we refer to nymphs, are going to be those seed ticks.
Are they?
I've hunted one time for coyotes
Uh-huh.
and sat in a wood line and had both feet on the ground and just felt things crawling up my leg. And I looked down and there were just hundreds on my leg.
Did you have a good time?
Sure. Yeah.
Cool.
There was no coyotes.
So you probably didn't have any DEET on you.
No, I didn't. Probably should have.
Probably should have.
That was before I knew. So
Perfect. Well, what other species are common here?
the brown dog tick, little less common, I would say. They feed primarily on dogs.
Like houses and kennels type situations.
Right. And that's one of the only ticks that if the conditions are just right, they could repopulate inside, where all other ticks really don't survive once they make their way indoors. So
we can let's kind of hit on some simple prevention tips that listeners can complete for their yards, dogs, and kids and whatnot for tick prevention, right? So, reducing tick habitat. So keeping the grass cut short, trim brush, overgrown edges, remove leaf litter and wood piles. A lot of times leaf litter is what gives the ticks, especially over the winter, habitat to survive the winter in. before it gets to the spring temps. Um,
It can hold a lot of moisture too.
yeah, yeah, and you can create mulch or gravel borders, kind of between the wooded areas in the yard, or
Hmm.
we see it probably more in schools, but usually there's gravel playgrounds now, or like a rubbery mulch material on playground.
A gravel playground sounds pretty dangerous.
Well, I walked through some this week. I walked through a few.
Lava rock playground.
There is gravel playground still.
Yeah.
Is it more dangerous than the concrete playground though?
But surely there's something soft on the concrete.
I've seen those too.
I don't know.
Funding, probably
Yeah.
funding. Uh, but like I said earlier, ticks love shaded, humid areas, especially where lawn meets the woods.
Yeah.
Wood lines.
Wood.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Limit wildlife traffic.
Yep. Secure your trash cans so those trash pandas don't come up to your
Mhm.
house.
Deer and rodents are pretty high on the tick carrier.
I thought you were going to say similar. I was like, well,
No, deer and rodents are not similar. I
interesting.
mean, they probably have some similarities. They both are very caring species and love their families.
Yeah.
The trash.
Feed the deer.
Don't feed the deer.
Don't feed the
What
deer.
what if we have a deer feeder set up outside the lawn?
Well, listen, as of the last several years, CWD has prevented people from feeding deer.
Mm-hmm.
So don't feed deer.
Don't feed
Because
the
of
deer.
local regulations, but also because of ticks.
Local regulations and ticks.
That's right.
Got it. What else? What else can we do to limit that wildlife traffic?
And if you really hate deer, you just hate them, you don't want to see them, consider putting up a fence to keep your deer.
That's crazy.
Well,
it had to be a pretty high fence.
It would.
Have to be a pretty high fence to keep that deer out.
It's doable.
Depends on their vertical, right?
That's right.
Do we have a LeBuck running around and plays for the Lakers somewhere?
Probably.
How high would you say that fence has to be?
Gosh, I don't know. Probably.
I know
At least
we have an
10 feet.
account out in Rocky Comfort that is basically a hunting compound.
Yeah.
And they kind of breed their own deer.
Very cool.
And so they have, and their fences are probably like 20 feet tall. So, and they do fence checks every day. But they got some big bucks that run around that property. But how tall is that fence got to be?
Yeah, at least. I would guess
at least 12.
At least 10 to 12, but probably 20. You're going to be safe. So
Yeah.
put up a deer fence.
Put up just put up one of those little white picket fences. You'd be all right.
Okay.
For sconks.
And then if all else fails, but in all actuality, what you should probably do first is
call a professional pest control company like Bug Zero.
There you go.
We have a new program. We've talked about it before. It's called
Mosquito Shield.
And it's not just for
mosquitoes.
Mosquitoes. It also is designed for ticks, fleas, chiggers.
Yep.
And so when we're making those applications, somebody they might not really be that worried about mosquitoes. They're more worried about ticks. So we adjust those treatment areas on those clients. And, we're treating all these areas we just talked about, wood lines on, overgrown parts of the yard, shaded areas of the yard. We want people to be able to enjoy their outdoor space.
For sure. And we've had a lot of really, really good feedback as far as the service goes so far, especially with the ticks. We had a client that reported prior to being on Mosquito Shield, they had over 30 a day when they were outside. And then after the first application, they've seen one in the last 2 weeks. So
I think I
very good.
I saw that message.
It's awesome.
Yeah, landscaping beds. Typically, your ticks are not going to be just hanging out in the middle of the yard. Fleas can be, but it just depends on the need of the client. How about dogs?
Yeah, obviously there are flea and tick medications out there that I would strongly recommend you have your dog on.
Tick collars.
Yep, topical treatments, oral pills, whatever they may be. That's probably your best bet.
Yeah, after being outside, if you want to check them, there's certain spots that ticks tend to go to.
Yeah.
A lot of times it's going to be right behind the ears. neck, between their toes, under the collar.
If you get them
Tail.
on you, like I get on my tail. So if you get it on yourself there, you should check your dog in the same areas.
So if they're on your tail, check your dog's tail.
That's right.
Got it.
Yep.
Anyway, moving on. How about kids? Take prevention on kids. Why are kids more high risk than adults?
Because they run into weird places that they shouldn't be.
And they also roll around the grass a lot more than we do, right?
Yeah. Yeah. DEET for sure.
DEET.
Yeah. DEET.
I want you to explain what DEET is, because we had some DEET made for us to hand out to people. And everybody says, "What's DEET?"
DEET is what you should treat yourself with.
Insect repellent, bug repellent.
But not all insect repellent is created equal. You want something with DEET to prevent mosquitoes and ticks from biting.
Make sure it's DEET.
DEET.
And DEET yourself.
Eat yourself.
I use DEET.
But also strategically clothing, right? Long socks. If you go out in shorts and hey dudes, you're going to pick up a lot of ticks.
So you what ticks a lot, because that's all you wear is hey dudes.
Yeah. You can tuck your pants into your socks for extra protection. You'd look ridiculous, but you would be protected.
Speaking of hey dudes, I seen an off-brand at Dollar General Market the other day called Sup Guys. You want me to buy you a pair of those?
No, that's okay.
All right.
But thanks.
All right. So it's just kind of making sure, checking for ticks, when you come in.
Yep.
Sooner rather than later. Obviously, for me, I don't have to worry about a hairline check because I don't have hair line.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Armpits, waistbands, behind the knees, you usually find them. Like if they go undetected, they'll go up to that growing line,
Mm-hmm.
And the quicker you can do the tick check when you come in from camping or fishing or being outside, the less chance of exposure, less chance of possible disease transmission.
Right. Yeah, it takes a little bit generally for them to be attached to transmit those diseases. So like you said, the quicker you get it off, the better your chances are you're not going to get any of those diseases. So
we got a few customer questions today.
Do we?
Yeah. Actually, they're all tick related.
Well, that's good.
This one's coming from Suzanne from Stella.
Or Stella.
Stella?
Yeah.
It's kind of down by Granby, Neosho.
Okay.
In that area.
Okay.
Can ticks jump or fly?
No. Ticks cannot jump or fly. So you heard me say earlier questing a couple times. So ticks crawl to the very top of a grass blade and do something like that. They stick all of their arms and legs out and they just wait for something to walk by and they grab on. So they don't jump, they don't fly.
They're not very athletic.
They are not athletic
Sure.
insects, not like grasshoppers. They're athletes. So crickets too. Oh, interesting. This is from Dan in Dunwich.
Similar area to Stella. That's far. What's old Dan had to say?
Dan is wondering if ticks die in the winter.
No, they do not. We discussed it a little bit a few minutes ago, but not completely. Many species of ticks survive Missouri winters by hiding under leaves in the soil, protected wooded areas, under those leaf piles that don't get cleaned up. A lot of that stuff acts as an insulator. So a few warm winter days might even make them active again temporarily until it gets cold again.
Excellent.
Another question. This one is from Jake from State Farm. What's the correct way to move a tick?
The correct way?
Yep. Correct.
Well, I would say tweezers. Tweezers are probably the best, or a tick removal tool.
Tick removal tool.
There's a lot of alcohols and Vaseline and Dawn dish soap,
nail polish,
that kind of thing that just is
burn the tick.
That's also dangerous. Let's not do that, and your room will probably smell because you're going to burn some hair.
I shave my arms.
It's weird. but okay. Hopefully you get it on your arm so it doesn't
Yeah,
burn
if it
up
gets
your
on my
hair.
leg, we're
You're in
screwed.
bad shape.
Mhm.
Yeah, use a tweezer as close to the head as possible or a tick removal tool.
I like it.
So, yeah. All
Um,
right, Shawn. The final question is coming from Paul.
Okay.
It doesn't say where Paul's from, unfortunately.
Paul, we just know Paul.
Oh, from the last golf course when he threw all of his clubs out.
So Paul Gardner got it.
Yeah. Can ticks infest a house?
Usually they don't really establish themselves like roaches or bed bugs or that kind of thing because one, ticks aren't going to crawl inside of a house. They're going to get brought in like a cockroach or a bed bug, but they can survive indoors for a while, but you know, not really. I think the main exception is the brown dog tip, which we talked about earlier, which can reproduce indoors, but not typically. Paul.
Very nice. Very nice.
Yeah. So if you're not on mosquito shield and you're concerned about ticks, we can take care of you for that.
The best time was in April to get started, but the next best time is
now.
right now because those populations are starting to kick off. And like everything that we do, we try and prevent them before they become a problem. And they're a problem right now, probably. So
They will be.
I picked a few off this.
I say we have an increase in tick calls coming after Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah, for sure.
Everybody is outdoors a lot that weekend.
Be at the lake, walking through woods and hiking and that sort of thing.
I'm gonna read some. We got some 5-star reviews to go over. 5-star review of the day.
Yeah.
Elizabeth. I'm not gonna try to pronounce your last name because I'm gonna butcher it. Elizabeth C. Seapley. Is this the one you talked about a while ago?
Probably, yeah.
5 stars. We have used Bug Zero for years in our home. Always appreciated their care. This summer, we added the mosquito shield care to the yard, and it has made a huge difference already. Not just for mosquitoes, but we were picking up to 30 ticks a day off our dogs being in a rural area, and now we find maybe one every few days. Thank you, Jace and the Bug Zero team.
That's awesome. Wish I wouldn't have ruined that one earlier.
Yeah, you kind of ruined that one. Let's see here. Oh, we got Tammy Mears. 5-star. They were prompt, efficient, polite, knowledgeable, accountable, and affordable. 10 out of 10. Highly recommend.
That's great.
Thanks, Tammy. You want me to do one more?
Why not?
You want me to keep rolling here? How about old Stan Miller, 5-star?
Stan.
Excellent service, friendly staff. I would recommend Bug Zero to anyone needing this type of service.
That's as good as it gets.
That is as good as it gets.
So Shawn, we've both been in the industry for several years now. What is the forecast, would you say, for ticks in general?
Like for the rest of the season?
No, for years going forward.
I think each year it's going to continue to increase and increase and increase.
Yeah.
Part of that reason, in my opinion, is a lot of people in today's age are big components of all natural products, which are not going to be as effective as synthetic products, which is, back in the day, you wouldn't find any all natural products. But, it's one thing. Do you want to have in your environment that you spend your time? Would you rather, use a synthetic product that's going to take care of tick problems for you, and have trained professionals making those applications, or are you going to spend some money on some do it yourself and get a natural product that's not going to be effective? But I think it's going to continue to increase until some changes are made there.
One of the things you said, the synthetic products, they are designed to be as least impactful on people as possible, then backed by the knowledge of licensed professionals doing that makes it even safer.
And it's, when I was studying for my ACE exam, when we were talking about pesticides, sometimes it takes 8 to 10 years for a new product to be approved by the EPA,
Mm.
and it's millions of dollars
Mm-hmm.
in that testing. So it's not like companies are just throwing out these products and that aren't safe. Today everything's so regulated. Now back in the 60s, 70s, 80s even, some pesticides were pretty questionable, but the EPA has really cracked down on the pesticide industry. A lot more weight goes into the knowledge of the applicator and the training of the applicator versus the product.
Yeah. And beyond that, I mean, development in general. As we grow as a population, we start invading on deers.
Deers with an S.
The deers.
Is that an apostrophe?
Homeland.
Yeah? Okay.
Deers
apostrophe or apostrophe.
So you got people like me that are in a house that's in the deer living space. So more ticks going back and forth.
You have an HOA though.
No.
You don't?
No.
Hmm.
Covenants. But no
you
HOA.
have covenant. Okay.
Yeah.
So anyway. Yeah. Does that answer your question?
It does, yes. Thank
Perfect.
you.
What else you got going on?
Not a lot right now.
Anything new? I got some new.
What's
I got
your
some
new?
news. Since our last episode, we were named the Joplin Area Chamber of Commerce Business of the Year for the category of 1 to 49 employees.
Heck yeah, we were.
So a Small Business of the Year award for the Joplin Area Chamber. Super appreciative of that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
The cockroach video was also.
Cockroach video was good. We'll probably post that full video on our Facebook, Instagram page.
Okay. Yeah, because it did get shortened. It was a great
I'll put
video.
the full video out there.
Great.
You want me to put that full video out there?
Absolutely.
I will throw that video out there.
Everyone needs to see that.
I will bat that thing in.
That's great. No, nothing. Just
tick season.
Tick season.
Ticks, skeeters, ants are blowing up right now.
It's busy pest control season in the Ozarks right now.
Termite swarmers. We actually just got a call on bee swarm.
Bee swarm. Yeah.
So,
lots of swarms going on.
Lots of swarms going on.
So that's it.
That's it. Well, I guess until next time, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm Shawn.
And I'm Jordan.
And we'll see you guys at the next episode. Thanks for listening.
Creepy crawlers invading your home? Bug zero. Spiders, ant, and flies? Oh my. Bug zero. Bed bugs and mosquitoes leave you itchy for help? Bug zero. Whether it's bugs in your home or bugs eating your home, Bug Zero has you protected. With both residential and commercial services, Bug Zero's comprehensive pest protection takes you from infestation to extermination.